Hello everybody and welcome to GameGuru Classic and GameGuru Max pre-record broadcast number 114. Normal service will resume next week when we'll be live and in colour and ready to serve you with lots of lovely demos and of course answers to your most important questions. I think it goes without saying in this pre-record that we are dropping the Q&A for this week as it's literally impossible for me to predict what questions you might have when I'm not even at the desk. So this will effectively be a demo section, and of course it starts with GameGuru Classic. Now anyone who's been watching the Steam update and the blogs and the news sections will know that we've just released publicly and officially the September update to GameGuru Classic. And go check out the news for the details on what's included in that update. But I just wanted to mention one thing, maybe anticipating a question. For anyone who had some burning question, this might be one of them. I can provide at least one answer. So I took the liberty of booting up GameGuru Classic September update, and I just want to add an ammo like this, drop it in, and what I want to show is one of the two features that were added most recently into the September update, and I just want to show you the process steps. Anyone familiar with GameGuru Classic and scripts know ammo.lure is a script that's assigned to any ammo that you collect in order to add more ammo to your weapon. But if you actually look down the list, you'll actually see now there's ammo_highlight. And if you ever wanted to look at a script and look inside it, you'll find that there's a new command. Just apply those changes and run, and the new command applies a highlight colour on top of the entity. So you see it's actually applying a red highlight to the ammo, and that's a command, that's a lower command in the script. You can actually change that colour in real time. So we've added that, and the other one, which I think is far cooler, is Parallax Occlusion mapping. What I covered that last broadcast and showed you a little video, and if anyone has any questions on that and wants me to do a bit of a deep dive when we're live again in GameGuru Classic land, please let me know and we'll add that onto the agenda for next week. So that's really a quick one for GameGuru Classic, just letting you know that the September update is now out. So go check that out if you're a GameGuru Classic user. And so without further ado, let's get and talk about GameGuru Max. Okay, so what do we have to show you in GameGuru Max land? Well, I'm going to keep this to basically news, but I've got a little demo as well. The first thing is a member of the community has very kindly swapped graphics cards with me. So now they get a slight upgrade to a 1080, and I get the offending AMD graphics card that causes the crash outs. And the great news is I was able to reproduce the crash. Got the screen I was hoping to see, the AMD error screen, would you like to report it? I click no, and then it bombed out. Basically what it means is I can reproduce it now, which means the fix will come thick and fast. And that is basically one of the last DX12 bugs. Once that's done, then I will be updating the repository with that fix, so you can actually get the DX12 source code, compile and make it part of your GameGuru Max universe. So we're winning in that department. Just hold on for a little bit longer and I'll be able to present you with a DX12 version that's stable on both AMD and Nvidia. Some more news as well. We are now looking at maybe not putting the finishing touches, because I think there is going to be a way to go, but we are certainly looking at something called a building editor, and you can probably guess what that is from the title. And we're just trying to make our mind up whether we release it to you now or we do a little bit more work on it and release it to you a little bit later. I'm quite happy to release it now because it means everyone can check it out, you can provide more feedback, and then we can place those items in order of priority and then figure out what we add next, rather than us just sitting on it and adding feedback from a much smaller circle that we have right now. We're getting generally good feedback from the people who've seen it so far. There's just a few little things I think that if we add, it just might go a long way to putting smiles on more people's faces. So again, bear with us on that one, but it's going to be imminent because I think we're at the point now where you really want to check it out, and it will be featured in future broadcasts as well. But the thing I do want to talk about, it was the most recent thing that's not DX12 related, added to GameGuru Max. And just to make sure we get some nice performance, I'm going to close down Classic so we can just run my little level. And you see I've already pre-prepared it. You might recognise the biome. It was from a broadcast 2 or 3 weeks ago, but it's such a nice one, I thought I'd use it again. Just as a staging scene for what I want to demonstrate, the last thing we added was the particles have been fixed. Now, particles, for the most part, always work. They were fine. But there was one bug in the shader. When we converted GLSL to HLSL, there was some clever little piece of matrix multiplying math that was sort of weirdly inverted and transposed. And that's now been fixed. Took a while to find, actually, but we found it, then fixed it, and it's now part of the EXP build for GameGuru Max. So if you're on Steam, go to the EXP build. If you don't see it when you go into the betas tab, you need a code, and that code is circulated around the socials. But again, let us know and we'll happily furnish it to you, no problem. It's not restricted anyway, it's just currently under a code, just so it doesn't scare people too much when you see all the different builds when you click beta. So I'm just going to show you what I'm talking about. The actual, I'll do the full thing. I'm going to the particle editor tool, which of course is free with GameGuru Max, and we start you off with some samples, and one of them is this, Portal 5. This is how it looks in the particle editor tool. And it never looked like that in GameGuru Max. It was like a squashed line. So just to give you a little bit of a tutorial whilst we're here, you can then go into the export button, click export effect to GameGuru Max. It says it's done. Then we can come here, and as it already existed, it's there. But if I click on that one, add selected, it's now, instead of a line, it's now a lovely ring. And you can actually play around with some values, make it stronger and animate faster. But yeah, we are now preserving correctly the geometry of the remaining particles that you can create in the particle editor tool. And why not, let's do a bit of a plug. If you want more examples, so you don't, I mean, this particle editor tool, you could basically create all different kinds of particle effects with a nice simple UI front end. And these are the ones that we've just provided as templates, so you don't have to start completely from scratch. We've given you some baselines for different kinds of effects, smoke, fire, all that kind of thing. But we have something called the Particles Booster Pack, which increases this. I think this is about, I don't know, let's count it, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 30, 27, let's say, that we provide. The Booster Pack, I think, adds another 200. Obviously, there's a lot of repeats as you get how many fires do you need, how many smokes you need. But sometimes it's easy just to go browse through the library, find the one that closely matches what you want, tweak it a little bit further in the tool. Then, as you saw me do a few seconds ago, export it, and it instantly appears. When you click Add New Particle, it instantly appears here, and then you can select it. So, little tutorial for you thrown in, and that, as I said, is in the EXP build. If you want to actually finally see your particles look like they look like in the particle editor tool. Now, I know I said there wasn't a Q&A, but I'm going to press this button right now. Simply to say, there is no Q&A, but I don't know. I've got it all stacked up on my streaming service, and this was the next thing. So I think we should have some consistency. But if you're not satisfied by not being able to ask a question, yes, we can't do it live, but you are absolutely free to go onto our Discord channel. Always a friendly place to visit, and you will absolutely get any answers to any questions that you might have. So, in the spirit of these Wednesday broadcasts, go check out Discord after finishing watching this video, and if you have questions, I absolutely guarantee you're going to get some answers. Maybe not the answers you want, and certainly not the answer from me, but you'll certainly get help in the direction that you're going in your game-making journey right now. So, without further ado, I will not beat about the bush, and we'll end this pre-recorded broadcast for GameGuru Classic and GameGuru Max, and I'll speak to you all next week when I'll be live at 7 PM BST. So until then, thank you for your attention, have a great rest of the week, and goodbye.